Have you thought about moving to Texas, or Austin, Texas in particular, or the surrounding areas? Maybe you're looking at moving from California or from New York or Washington or wherever the case may be. Make sure to check out this video and all the rest of the videos, because you may be surprised versus what you think Austin, Texas is really like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let us know where you're coming from in the comments below. Let's jump into it. So, did I give you enough time to leave me a comment below? Let me know where you're coming from, looking at moving from. If so, welcome back. Let's jump into it. So, Austin, Texas. What do people love about it? What do people not like about it? That's today's topic. So, let's just jump right into it. If you're coming from out of state and you're looking at moving to Austin, Texas for all the opportunity that is moving here as far as businesses go. You got Samsung, Tesla, Apple, Facebook, Oracle. All these huge companies are moving their operations to or around Austin, Texas. Now, maybe you're out of California, Washington, New York, wherever the case may be, and you want to move to Austin because that's where the opportunity is. There are a handful of things that you need to be aware of that, yes, on paper look great, but that's not always the case. So, first things first, Austin weather. Yes, we have 2 seasons. We don't have 4, we have 2. And that can change in a single day. You can have rain, sunshine, and the temperature can drop 20 degrees. It doesn't matter what day it is, doesn't matter what time of year it is, we have that happen all the time. Now, if you like hot weather, welcome to Austin. Austin typically has quite a few days over 100 degrees. So if you're moving from California, Washington, New York, and you're used to colder weather, guess what? You're not going to get it. Yes, we did have snow last year. It hadn't happened in 32 years. So don't expect that to be a normal occurrence. Get ready to run your AC all the time and get ready for those higher bills. That brings us to our next topic, and that is, yes, you're probably going to buy a larger home in Austin, Texas for the same amount of money that you would spend on a lot less square footage in the other states that I've mentioned. Now, that doesn't come without a cost. You have to think about cooling it, heating it, your property taxes, lawn maintenance, whatever it is, there are additional costs. So let's just jump into it. If you buy a 3,000 square foot house or a 2,500 square foot house, like I mentioned earlier, we have extremely hot weather. You're going to want to run that AC, and if you're like me, low 70s, and at night, probably cooler than that, just so you're not sweating as you're trying to go to sleep. Now, in a house at large, you may have 1, possibly 2 AC units, and it is going to cost you some money. Now, can you do solar? Yes, but keep in mind that that comes with a price as well. And you have to have enough panels to cover that cost. So the cost is going to balance itself out in the long run. You may save a little bit on solar, not a bad option. I have it on my house. I have twice the number of panels that I need so that I can make sure I stay cool, keep my family cool and comfortable during the hot days. Now, property taxes. Mentioned that just a minute ago. Property taxes are going to be probably more than you're used to, because you're going to cover school tax, property tax all in one. And depending on the size of the home, what part of Austin you're in, you could look anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000 up to $13,000, $14,000 additional a year. So yes, you're getting a lot more house for the same amount of money that you'd spend in these other states, but you're going to be spending some extra money on property taxes. So make sure to take that into account when you're looking at homes, the areas that you're looking at homes. And if you're outside of the city limits, some of these smaller towns have a lot lower tax bracket, and your yearly taxes, property taxes won't be as much. Now, as these towns grow, that amount continues to rise. And even in some of the smaller towns, Kyle, Buda, their tax rate is quite a bit higher than a lot of other areas. I know for my house that I had in Kyle, I paid almost $6,500 a year. That same size of home in Leander cost me about $4,500 a year. So it all varies depending on what part of town you're in, what neighborhood, what location. And so keep that in mind when you're starting to look for homes as you're venturing into Austin, Texas. Now, the big misconception. Everybody lives on a ranch. Everybody wears cowboy hats, boots. Well, the boot part is true. Most of us own several pair of boots. Not all of us live on property, but when the rodeo comes around, everybody dresses up the part. So, get ready to see big trucks. Most of them don't need them, but they're going to own them because everything's bigger in Texas. I'm sure you've heard the slogan. Now, in Austin, let's keep Austin weird. So, you're going to see a combo of monster trucks and Teslas and smart cars and everything in between. But that's just Austin. So, talking about trucks, talking about that, brings me to traffic. If you've never been to Austin, yes, I know California, traffic is terrible, but get ready for a new adventure when you get onto 35 or Mopac, slow pack as most of us from Austin call it, unless you're willing to jump on the toll, which still is slow, but it does bypass quite a bit on Mopac. But traffic sucks. It's ranked one of the worst in the state, probably in the country at this point, and the roads are not very good. 35 has been under construction one way or another in or around Austin for as long as I've been alive. And it goes that way north and south. Some part of it is under construction and you're going to be sitting in traffic. So, if you have to be at the office, which most of us these days don't have to, but you're trying to get around town, be prepared, give yourself an extra hour. If it's during rush hours, which in the morning, go heading to the office, coming home in the evening, it's going to be slow. Just expect it. Find a good radio station, find some good tunes, sit back, don't get frustrated, and just know that that's what you're moving into. Now, are all things bad in Austin? Absolutely not. Born and raised in this town, love it here. But there are a lot of things that are hidden, a lot of great venues, a lot of music. As you know, it's live music capital. We have the F1 track, which has motorcycle racing, car racing, concerts. I think they even got some rugby out there now. So you have a lot of options all around town. You got ACL Fest, South by, you got Blues on the Green, you got Zilker Park. Up north, you got hockey, you got the new FC, the soccer. You've got all sorts of things that always happen in and around Austin for family, for singles, for anybody that's looking for something to do. Austin has it. Now, Austin's a very active town, especially in and around downtown. You got Lake Austin, you got Lady Bird Lake, you got canoeing, kayaking, hiking, bike trails, everything in between. So if you're active, if you can stand the heat, Austin is a great place. You can get a lot of house for the money. Yes, prices have gone up, but they're constantly building, opportunities knocking at the door, whether for business-wise, family-wise. Get outside, you got lakes, everything else. So, food. Austin has some great restaurants. A lot of them are one-offs. You got Franklin's, you got Trudy's, you got Chewy's. You got tons of opportunity to go out and try all different types of food. And there's restaurants that pop up all the time, hole in the walls, that are just great restaurants, great atmosphere, great food. If you like brunch, there's tons of places that offer brunch. And so Austin has a lot going for it. But don't expect it to be California. Don't expect it to be New York, Washington. Because although things are similar, it's not. It's very much different. And so don't expect to walk in and be 70 degrees year round. Don't expect 4 seasons. We don't get it. So if you're looking at moving, make sure to reach out to me. Like I said, born and raised here. Love this town. Would be more than happy to help you find that house that you're looking for. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment below. Reach out to me if you're interested in moving. And we'll see y'all soon.